I saw 3 big stones. Maybe they were rocks, but I would just call them stones. But they were big enough to be very big rocks. But there were 3 big stones. They were coming down to the earth in slow motion. Not very slow motion, but in slow motion. They were not coming down very fast, like someone has thrown them. They were coming down very nicely, like there are ropes that are hanging these stones, but there was nothing. They were just coming down on their own. And then at a certain point in the sky, these stones fragmented. They experienced fragmentation, such that I was seeing very tiny fragments of these stones. Very tiny fragments, not only very tiny fragments, I was also seeing dust as well, which was scattered all over the earth. This dust, which was scattered, and the shards or the fragments and the dust of these 3 big stones, it fell onto many countries of the world. And then I saw something very strange in the vision. I saw women, young and old women, picking up these stone fragments. And I saw them crush some of these fragments of stone into powder, and they started to smear this powder on their faces. And then they took some of the powder and they put it in water and they started to drink it. They started to drink it. I was saying, this is strange. And then I was looking for men in those different countries. I was looking for men to see whether there were men doing the same thing. I didn't. I was just seeing 1 or 2 men. It was mainly women. 99.999% of the people were picking these stone fragments and they're smearing them on their faces, and also taking the powder of these stone fragments, putting them into water and drinking the water. It was overwhelmingly women, or virtually women. And then within a few minutes, I started to see the faces of the people who had partaken of these stones that had fallen from the sky. Their faces started to metamorphose, to undergo a change, a dramatic change before my face. Within a few minutes, their faces appeared scorched, like a person who has been scorched by fire, a person who has been burnt by fire. Darkened faces, ugly faces. I said, what is this? So afterwards, I saw many women who had partaken of these stones become sick. Some with diarrhea, they were running in all sorts of directions to hide behind vegetation because they were troubled by diarrhea. Others, they were developing very visible skin cancer, skin-related problems. What does this mean? This is a warning to women, especially women of color. There may be black people, normally black people, and other people with a darker tone of skin, like people from India, Bangladesh, and other parts of the world, who feel tempted to believe that to be beautiful is to have a lighter complexion of skin. I don't know where that kind of information comes from. I think it's from Lucifer, the devil himself, from the devil himself. So, these is very powerful chemicals that they want to launch and introduce in the world to help these sisters, and to a very small extent brothers as well, but mainly these sisters with an inferiority complex. I know my message will offend a lot of people. These sisters with an inferiority complex of thinking that if their complexion is like the complexion of Brother Ndlovu, they are not beautiful enough. It's just an inferiority complex. As far as God and some of us are concerned, you are beautiful as you are. And where the opinion of God is made known, any other opinion is irrelevant. So we've got sisters. We've got this tendency to use chemicals to modify their skin, to modify their looks, their facial looks, so that they appear lighter or they appear whiter, whatever the case may be. The Spirit of God said, I must warn you that very soon they are planning to launch on the market very powerful but very dangerous chemicals, which will cause a lot of health problems and complications and cancers upon the people who will be using those substances.